Alright, here's a quick update for the game. I've added some enemy pathing. Well, I've added a bunch of stuff, but we're going to talk about the enemies first because I want to get them out of the way. But I added a couple of different enemies. They're just using a graphic that is the same as my graphic. Ooh, actually, projectiles can cancel each other out, so you can hit another projectile, which is what you're seeing a few times here. There's also health bars that change color based on how much remaining health there is for the enemy. There's damage icons that show up, and if you hit them consecutive times, the damage increases. I actually don't know what's going to happen if I kill this guy, so hopefully it won't crash. But yeah, so that guy had a path that went back and forth. It was a 2-point pathing. This guy has a scattered path where he'll choose a random point within the circle to travel to, and he also has collision. So like if he's gonna run into this thing, he'll choose a different place to path to. And these guys are more difficult than I thought. I should have enabled an ability. I am 2 hits from dead. If I die, I have to basically restart the video. Yeah, I mean, I can just restart the... Why won't you die? Okay, I'm 1 hit. If I die, I'm going to restart. One more. Why you dodge? 1 more hit. Okay, we got him. Okay. So we added enemies, and we'll work on balancing them. But they had 2 different types of pathing. One was a kind of random anchored spot, and the other one was the patrol. I can choose 2 different spots to patrol between. And they currently just attack me, but they also have collision detection, so if they run near an object, they... they avoid it. So there's that. Also, you may notice there is the background. I have some parallax dots there that look kind of nice. All the artwork here is placeholder, but yeah. Also, so this is a wrapped world, so you'll notice like the platform over here is the same as this platform. That's just because this level is really small. I added level save loading, so I save the level that I made in a little file, and it loads the same level every time. I still have my random map generation that can happen. I think, so I also added damage bars too. So I think you'll notice that if I wrap around, it's going to deload these ones, and then it'll make new ones with fresh health. So that's just part of the design for level wrapping, is if you don't destroy an object, then it's gonna respawn full. But if I destroy this object and then I wrap back around, it removes it from the map, so the next one that we see show up should be missing that corner, unless something bad happened. Yeah, see, missed the corner. Cool. So I added that. I simplified the health bar. I removed the little energy bar because I don't think I want to have energy. I want the system to be cooldown based. So I have health, and then like the maximum weight that you can carry, which will be adjustable and upgradable. Also, I have damage that accumulates. So if you do a certain amount of damage quick enough, it'll have a higher number, but it resets like every half second or something. The other thing, so now my inventory is full. I have like a little message that'll tell you, I actually don't want to run into that, if you can't carry something, and it won't allow you to destroy the block. So there it says heavy. I don't know what the message will be at the end, but that's the idea there. The idea will be that like you gather resources and then you bring them back to the platform, and you can buy upgrades and various things, and that will eventually enable you to warp to the next area, and there will be like a series of areas. I think the idea is that the game will be a roguelike, and each Run will have like random items and stuff that drop. I think there will also be maybe like classes that you can choose from that'll have like a starting ability and starting stats for the ship. So I enabled, I think I have kind of two menu types. The first one is just going to be a pause menu, which right now it doesn't bring anything up, but it'll probably have like restart game, exit game, and maybe like settings for various things. Eventually I'll have sound, so you have sound levels, and maybe you can map control buttons or something like that. The other menu I have is this little tabbed menu. The first tab is just going to be for ship stats. It'll talk like how fast the ship is, or whatchamacallit, how fast the attack speed is, how much health it has, how much capacity it has in the cargo, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't know exactly how they'll display, but they'll be here. Yeah, also this menu, I made it so that clicking is disabled if you click on the menu while it's open. So that's very good, so you can't like move while you're trying to click stuff, which we figured out. This other empty menu here is for cargo. I think there will eventually be like items that you can pick up that you can drop off at other places. You can send to like NPCs or something, or that will grant you benefits in your ship, or grant you passage to other areas like key items or things like that. The other tab that I just was doing a lot of work on. Oh wow, why is that? Why are there multiple items there? I've never seen that before. Okay, well that's interesting. I don't know if this will work. That's actually a bug. Like it's repeating the list twice. I think it loaded twice. So we'll see how that goes. But this is a menu for abilities. You get a list of abilities, and then when you select an ability, it shows the title with a description. Quick note, I named all these abilities in like 5 minutes, like super fast. So some of them are bad, some of them are actually kind of cool and I like them. But so you can select here and change the ability that's displayed. Down here is going to be a panel where it'll show your currently enabled abilities. So you'll like click this button, it'll add the ability here, and then it'll also create your little cooldown in the corner. So you can add each of the abilities, and then it resets their cooldowns as you go. Some of the names are actually, I kind of like a couple of them, like Spirit of Adventure and Change of Heart. I'll probably keep. What happens if I do this? Okay, that's good. I don't know why it repeats them. I have to look into that. And then also, if you click here, it removes the ability. But yeah. So then each of the abilities is tied to a key down here. For example, the first one, Oath of Mending, I don't know if I'll keep that or not, allows me to heal, which I definitely need because I almost died. And it's got like a little cooldown that triggers down here. I also made it like the heal projectiles can collide with anything, which I like a lot. It lets you like heal nearby environments and even enemies. I don't know exactly how that'll come into play later, but I like the idea of having like versatility and options. Like maybe you can have a build in the future that healing will deal damage to nearby enemies, and so like healing next to an enemy would be beneficial by somehow like hurting them or something. Excuse me. We're not going to edit that out. We're doing this live. So sorry about that. Also, there's collision damage, so I deal damage to the rock. The rock deals damage to me, but it can all be healed. There's also these health bars. Once you get below 50%, it turns yellow, and then below 25, it turns red. And once it's like you can heal it back up to full, it'll disappear. So it only shows if it's not full health. So there's the healing. We've also got a blink, which I featured previously. It has collision detection so that it doesn't let you run into objects, but it's got a max range, so it won't jump all the way across the screen, just like halfway. Also has a cooldown. And it works the same way as like quick casting in League of Legends, or like StarCraft, the blink that you have on Stalkers. I think you have to click that one, so it's like that without click. And basically it finds the closest point that doesn't collide, that is still within range. So you see, like at the very edge of this, it'll put me, so this one I was out of range there, but if I go like here, then it'll put me on the other side because it's closer. And I can heal back up. Then I've got a scatter, like shotgun kind of attack that does a good amount of damage. It also so the damage accumulates over time. It refreshes like every quarter of a second or something. I might change that because right now, like, my attack speed doesn't allow it to accumulate. So it always looks like 5, but it actually gets higher than that. So when you do the scatter shot, it gets enough hits so it'll put the total amount of damage. Like one took 55, one took 40. This thing obviously can't be destroyed right now because my inventory is full. Then this other one, this has the coolest name of abilities so far. It's called Change of Heart, that reverses the direction of nearby projectiles. It also, so like for example, I shoot it and then I hit this thing and it just reverses the direction, which I thought was kind of a cool mechanic. It also reverses the direction of enemy projectiles and turns them to friendly projectiles, so you can cause an enemy to shoot themselves or something like that. I think it'll probably be pretty fun in the long run, but there's still tuning that I need to do to figure out how all this stuff works. Eventually I want to have like radial, I guess like orbital items. Like I want to have things that will orbit around you, or things that will have like a spiral, and I'm trying to figure out how I want this to interact with that. I think I basically just want it to change the direction of orbit or something like that, but we'll see. Maybe if it's like a spiraling one and it like spirals back, I don't know. But yeah, that's the Change of Heart. I really like the name of it. I came up with it in like 2 seconds, and it seems really cool. Or I don't know, I just like how it sounds. So we'll see how that goes. This other one, I'm probably gonna change it. It's called Void Claim. I don't like the name at all, but something void. That's probably what it'll be. It's a practice I did with a particle system. It's this little thing. It's like a little bar that emits black particles in its wake, and it basically just one-shots everything, and gives me, well, it doesn't actually give me the material, but I'll have to figure out how to ignore those and not destroy them, which should be pretty simple. But I just like the effect. It's kind of like a dark smoky effect. It reminds me of the thing from Lost, and you can kind of follow it. All these projectiles have a time to live, so eventually they'll die, except for when you use Change of Heart, it resets the time to live to like however many seconds it is. But I think eventually, if we keep following it, you'll see them, yeah, they disappear. I gotta figure out what I want to do with that, but I think I don't want there to be infinitely living particles. Oh, also, I created a projectile pool, so there's 1,000 projectiles that are cycling, that get disabled and their position moved. That makes it so that there's not like a delay whenever I create a bunch of particles. They already exist in the scene, but they're disabled, and they just get re-enabled and positioned where I need them to be. So that's a little optimization that I think is useful. The other, I don't think I have I don't have this key mapped somewhere yet, so let me just move it. So this one's called Spirit of Adventure. I like the name too. It's like a little boost that keeps me moving in the direction that I am moving in when I click it. So I can't like change directions after. So normally I can move, but once it's active, during its activation, I can't move. I wanted to create kind of different archetypes. One of them to be like a healer, one to be like a burst damagey guy. And I wanted maybe one of the archetypes will be a tanky guy that you deal damage by ramming into enemies and things like that. So you like take reduced damage, and maybe you do more collision damage based on how fast you're moving when you hit something or something like that. Anyways, yeah, that's all the abilities I have so far. I'm continuously going to be thinking of some and adding them and thinking of mechanics as well. I think that might be it. We've got the UI sort of working. There's of course bugs everywhere, but got the little menus working. We did a bunch of work with those. I think I'll probably want to have like tooltips when you hover over stuff eventually. Like this will say, you know, ship status or something like that, and this will say add, and then once I have it here, when you hover here, it'll say remove, stuff like that. Those are all bells and whistles that need to be added, and they'll take a lot of time. Yeah, so that's the game. Well, not game, I'd say, so much as these are the systems I'm adding that are going to contribute towards an eventual game. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking time to watch this little video, and stay tuned for more in the future. Cheers, guys.